Welcome back. If you like strange what-if science questions, click subscribe, share this video with someone who loves Alaska, and let's get into it. What would happen if all the glaciers in Alaska melted? First, this would not happen overnight. Alaska's glaciers are enormous, spread across mountain ranges, ice fields, valleys, and coastal landscapes. But as a thought experiment, it reveals something important. Alaska would not just lose ice, it would become a different place. The first thing people usually imagine is global sea level rise. And yes, Alaska's glacier ice would add water to the ocean. Scientists estimate that if all of Alaska's glacier ice melted, it would raise global sea level by about 46.4 millimeters, or roughly 1.8 inches. That may sound small compared with the melting of Greenland or Antarctica, but it is still a huge amount of water, and the global number hides the local consequences. For Alaska, the impact would be massive. Near the glaciers, rivers would change first. As the ice disappeared, meltwater would surge through valleys. Some rivers would run higher. Some would carry more sediment, turning gray and cloudy as ground-up rock moved downstream. Glacier-dammed lakes could suddenly release, creating outburst floods that race through valleys with little warning. Then, over time, the opposite problem would arrive. Once the ice was gone, glacier-fed rivers would lose their natural summer supply of water. Glaciers act like frozen reservoirs. They release water during warm months when rain may be limited. Without them, some streams would become warmer, lower, and less reliable. That would matter for fish, especially salmon. Retreating glaciers can open up brand new river habitat, and some studies suggest thousands of kilometers of new salmon-accessible streams could appear in western North America. But new habitat does not automatically mean healthy salmon runs. Warmer water, changing river flow, more sediment, and changing ocean conditions could all put pressure on fish at the same time.
The land itself would also become more unstable. Glaciers hold slopes in place and shape the valleys around them. When that ice retreats, steep mountainsides can weaken. Landslides become more likely. In coastal Alaska, a landslide falling into a fjord or lake could trigger a dangerous local tsunami. Coastal ecosystems would shift too. Alaska's glacier-fed coast is connected to cold fresh water, nutrients, sediment, and seasonal pulses of meltwater. Remove the glaciers, and the chemistry and timing of that water changes. Some species would move. Some food webs would reorganize. Some places could become more productive for a while others would lose the cold water conditions they depend on. For communities, the changes would be practical, not abstract. Roads, bridges, ports, pipelines, and buildings near unstable slopes, flood zones, or thawing ground would face new risks. Tourism would change as iconic glacier landscapes disappeared. Subsistence and commercial fishing communities could face shifting resources. Places built around reliable ice, cold water, and stable coastlines would have to adapt. There is also a strange twist. As glaciers melt, the land underneath can rebound upward because the weight of the ice is removed. So in some parts of Alaska, local land rise can partly offset sea level rise. But that does not cancel the global effect. The water still goes into the ocean, and lower-lying coasts around the world still feel it. So what would Alaska look like without glaciers? There would be new valleys, new lakes, new rivers, and exposed land that had been buried for thousands of years. Some areas might turn green. Some new ecosystems would begin. But the transition would be chaotic. Floods, landslides, habitat disruption, warmer rivers, changing fisheries, and the loss of one of the most recognizable features of the Alaskan landscape. The biggest lesson is this: glaciers are not just frozen scenery. They are infrastructure built by nature. They store water, cool rivers, shape coastlines, support ecosystems, and influence the lives of people far beyond the ice. If all the glaciers in Alaska melted, the world would not end overnight, but Alaska would become a warning sign written across the map. When ice disappears, everything connected to it changes. What would you want me to cover next? Greenland? Antarctica? Or what would happen if all the world's permafrost thawed? Comment below and remember to click subscribe.